Before I say anything, I currently have no idea how long this video is going to be. And also, this video is actually scripted this time. This video is going to be overanalyzing a rightfully so deleted character from one of my favorite movies of all time, Encanto. This video will not be labeled as for kids. They are for people up to my young adult age to discuss what all went wrong with this specific deleted character and scene, and also what I am now doing with him in my headcanons for him. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get into it!
Which is why I covered it in the urine of several animals.
According to the Disney Wiki, Bubo Marquez is a deleted character that was originally supposed to be Isabela Madrigal's love interest before they decided to quickly change the story for Mariano Guzman instead. It says that the reason for his removal from the movie entirely was because the majority of people think that he was a continuation of the hot woman and dorky man trope. They also said that it was a toxic and unrealistic message to send to the audience that has already have been done before. Now on to the dreaded deleted scene. I didn't want to watch this, but I kind of have to for this video, so here is a quick summary of it. The deleted scenes featuring Bubo was called Isabela Goes Into the Woods, explained by the head of the story at the time, Jason Hand and Nancy Cruz. He said that the scene takes place after Mirabel discovers what the mystery of the magic is. She goes to look for her sister. The storyboarded scene starts off with Mirabel peeking around the corner of Casita and looking up at Isabela's balcony and starts to drag a ladder to use to get up there, but quickly gets spooked by a vine growing down towards the ground, which makes her hide again and watch. She observes a silhouette of Isabela stepping off the vine and walking away as the vine slowly shrunk back up to the balcony. Isabela walks to the entrance of the forest, stopping for a moment to remove her hood and looks as if to make sure no one is following her, when suddenly a shadow of someone or something catches her and brings her into the forest. This catches Mirabel off guard and starts to chase the trail of quickly disappearing flowers that Isabela left behind her, thinking that her sister got abducted. She falls down a hill further into the forest and thinks that she had lost Isabela as she gets up and looked around to see her nowhere to be seen, until she sees that what she thinks is a jaguar attacking her sister quickly sprung into action, jumping forward towards the animal. Right before she was about to give the attacker hell, Isabela tackles Mirabel to stop her. Isabela realized who she tackled and had a shocked expression. They both looked at the jaguar getting back up and a man's face being revealed. Isabela runs to Bubo, asking him if he was okay. Bubo responds with him being fine and calling her mi amor, which confuses Mirabel even more. Then Isabela gives Bubo a quick kiss, which quickly turns into them both having a heavy and heated kiss session, and with moaning, also with close-ups of the deep kiss like it's some kind of rom-com. Isabela gags, and Isabela responds to that, telling Mirabel to just go home. You saw nothing. And Mirabel responds with that she wished she saw nothing. Isabela stands back up and tells Mirabel to go back home again because it isn't safe. Mirabel responds, doubting that Isabela is safe there also. Bubo pipes up, saying that he's wearing a jaguar coat so other animals will see it and won't mess with him. Mirabel responds by adding that predators hunt by scent, and Bubo says, and I quote, his exact words,
which is why I covered it in the urine of several animals.
I repeat, he covered his costume in pee of several animals. As he moved closer to Mirabel, putting the pea-covered fur coat sleeve up to Mirabel's nose. Bubonic, step away from the underage girl. Mirabel asks why he has urine of animals when she is cut off by Isabela, asking what she's doing here. Mirabel explains to Isabela that she needs a specific flower called a moonlight orchid, and also adding that she thought that Isabela was being mauled by a savage beast. Isabela responded by saying that it's a difficult orchid and it would take a lot of her energy for some reason, and begs Mirabel not to tell anyone about her secret relationship with Bubo. Mirabel then realizes that there's a donkey that was all packed up for a journey, and she realizes that Isabela is leaving the Encanto with Bubo. Mirabel quickly points the blame at Bubo when Isabela stops her. She explains that Bubo was the only person who really saw her and understood her. Mirabel decides to leave with her voice sounding disappointed in her older sister. Isabela makes a plant wall grow, tying her up in vines. What the heck, man? Isabela says that they will never be happy in the Encanto, and that the barrier being open at that point was their chance to be free. And that's where the deleted scene ends. Now back to the Disney Wiki. It's unknown if Isabela was planning to leave with the man she just met, or if they have been together for a while and planning this for a long time. First of all, I'd like to give my opinion on this deleted scene. I think Isabela was written in a terrible way and sets a bad example for people first getting into relationships. To be honest, I have no idea how relationships start, nor will I ever will, but I can safely say that running from your problems literally will not fix the relationship with your family. There's nothing else really on his Disney Wiki page that I can talk about more, since it's pretty short and only talks about his appearance in the deleted scene along with his likes and dislikes. So his likes being Isabela, just her, kisses and wearing costumes, and dislikes being danger. Okay, but he is the danger. I guess he dislikes himself. I'm just kidding. And also Isabela under pressure. Okay, based. And his status being a scrapped character. Yeah, that's pretty much it for his Disney Wiki. Also, last minute, I forgot to add that there's a shipping wiki for Isa Bubo. I'm not really going to get into it because I just went over a wiki, and it probably also summarizes the deleted scene also. In 2021, after the movie came out, I think, a Reddit post was posted by a user named TIZIO-CAIO-AERDN asking about what the worst deleted scene from Encanto on r/Encanto. The Isabela and Bubo scene. I'm so glad they removed it too, because it's a kids movie. Also, I don't know why, but Bubo looks unlikable. It might have suggested that she might have only not wanted to marry Mariano because she was in love with someone else, rather not wanting to marry him being the reason that stands on its own and not needing any other reason or justification. I also think it would make her character less sympathetic by the end of the movie. It's one thing to agree to an engagement someone you at least like and respect because you generally think it's the right thing to do, with the hope that maybe love could grow. It's another thing to do it with the secret lover on the side who you're not even willing to stand up for or introduce to your family because you are embarrassed, ashamed of him. Now these comments that I picked out are underneath from the video of the deleted scene, quoted the two baby birds feeding each other line in it. This sentence made my night. The kissing was just, weird. I like the idea that even if Encanto seems to be a paradise, some people actually felt trapped in it and wanted to escape. Especially the golden girl who seems to have everything she wants, but yeah, the lover is actually diminishing Isabela's spirit. I think this is actually a pretty interesting scene. Isa having a secret lover behind her family's back was a good touch and would make sense. I think if they cut the heavy kissing, this wouldn't have been as bad. Kiss scene aside, let's just appreciate the fact that Mirabel has guts and will fight a wild animal for her sister to be safe, to run away. Bubo is actually an interesting character. I wouldn't be mad if they introduced him in a sequel, though maybe not quite in the same way. It's interesting to see how different Isabela was from how she is now. Isabela is in this deleted scene reminds me more of like a teenage version of Julieta, what with her more mature / nurturing aspect and her attraction to a dorky guy. So, about Bubo's personality in the scene. Bubo seems to be some kind of scientist about animals, especially in animal urine. I saw that he was written to be a caring character that would listen to Isabela's problems. I also saw that he is very experimental with the pea-covered costume he wore to scare off other animals, even if it was totally an absolutely gross thing to do. Being covered in animal pee and making out with his girlfriend is not something you should do in front of someone who is a younger sister of your lover and that you are aware that they're watching. He seems to not be very talkative. It's shown that he lets Isabela do the talking instead and is also irresponsible. I also think Isabela seems irresponsible as well, but we'll get into her arc next. Isabela's overall arc was completely changed after the directors decided to scrap Bubo from her story. Isabela was originally portrayed to be a runaway princess type of character in the deleted scene, which is completely different from what we got in the movie. Her character writing was written to be more quiet about her true feelings, pushing them down and getting through every day, wearing a mask because she was raised to be perfect. I'm so glad they denied this part of the story, completely changing Isabela from typical damsel who needs rescuing to be a more independent personality. A prickly personality that she hides from her family until it suddenly sprouts out of her, literally, after she was set off in an argument with Mirabel. Think of it this way: if you were a villager living in Encanto in 1950s Colombia, you would walk past Isabela and view her as this dainty princess, when in reality she was pressured to be this way from mostly her grandmother. Isabela's point of view in the movie is very interesting the more you think about it. Imagine you're a young woman who has to dress and act a certain way just to appease your family, especially to keep your grandmother happy, for she sees yourself in you. You must not make mistakes performing the perception of perfection. You may also make rude remarks to your youngest sister so she'll stay out of your way of what you think you want in life. A man that you're not interested in is interested in you. You seem to know about the proposal because you can guess that it's meant to happen. It was arranged. But suddenly everything goes downhill and the whole dinner with the Madrigals and the Guzmans was ruined. You leave, storming up to your room, angry at your sister. Deep down, you didn't want to marry this man, but you were supposed to. If you didn't, your perfect facade would fall apart and all your hard work would have been for nothing. You later have an argument with your sister and something she says ticks you off and your true feelings about your situation slips out. You stare shocked at the cactus that popped up in front of both of you. Wondering if you just grew something other than a perfect flower, you immediately pick it up to examine it while avoiding your sister's attempts to force a hug on you. You start seeing what other colors or plants you could make if you just let yourself go wild and release whatever was stuck inside you from pressure out into your room. Your room had turned into a jungle by the time you start finally opening up to your sister and sincerely apologizing about your past rude behavior towards her. She shows that she forgives you, starts to understand why you made the choices that you did. You then have fun kicking and messing with the wild plant you've grown on the roof. You've never felt so free just to play around and get messy like you were a carefree kid again. Suddenly, your grandmother interrupts you and you freeze just as you hear her yelling. You get up so fast that you were a bit dizzy by the sudden movement and look down at yourself. You were messy and imperfect, the exact opposite of what your grandmother wanted you to be. You suddenly start to feel shame as you stand up, staying silent, being so afraid of your grandmother. You leave and stand off to the side next to your other younger sister. As you look down at Casita's unmoving tiles, you feel disgusted and feel more shame as you hear Abuela berating Mirabel for your mess. Mirabel argues back and stands up for everyone else in the family. You think, how is she this brave when she's up against Abuela? She was even braver than your muscular sister who was next to you and in the same position, and even braver than you, especially the eldest. Then things get even worse when Casita starts collapsing and falling apart. Then the place you once called home was nothing but rubble. At first you think Mirabel was hurt or worse, but then you are relieved that Casita used the last of its power to shield her. Later on, Mirabel disappears and everyone starts to look for her. You start to feel guilty again. You still wished you could take back all the rudeness you showed her, and now you couldn't. You imagine how Abuela must feel now. You saw her as she fell to her knees when she saw the broken house. You kept on looking, calling out her name with your family until next morning. You see a horse with Mirabel, Abuela, and your Uncle Bruno on a horse, running past you heading back to the rubble. You all start trying to help one another clean the rubble and try to rebuild the new casita when the entire town wanted to help your family rebuild also. You're grateful that you have a community that would help you and your family, all because you helped them in the past, even though inside your mind you think that you don't deserve it. Later on, you remember your cousin, Dolores, was the one who truly had the feelings for Mariano and teamed up with Mirabel to make him see her. You then team up with the rest of your family. You team up with the rest of your family to surprise Mirabel with a special doorknob to show your appreciation. You feel so proud of your little sister for being so brave the other day, and you feel so grateful to be her older sister, and you'll promise her that you will be better from now on. So, how would Bubo be rewritten if himself and the scene were still in the movie? Keep in mind, I am still practicing my writing skills because I am not a professional, but how I would rewrite this scene would be: Mirabel went into Isabela's room to ask about the flower she needs, but finds out she's not in her room. She then sees one of her vines leading out to Isabela's balcony and sees Isabela making her way to the forest. Mirabel leaves Casita to see where she's going, but she sees that Isabela is already gone. Follows the trail of flower petals that her sister left behind far enough into the forest to see Isabela in the distance talking to somebody who she could not see who it was yet from a tree blocking her view. Mirabel approached closer to see Isabela talking to a man she hasn't seen before. "Isa, who's that?" Mirabel asked. Oh, you must be mi amor's little sister. She told me so much about you." The man smiled, holding his hand out to shake Mirabel's hand. "The name's Bubo." "Mi amor?" Mirabel repeated. "Mirabel, what do you want?" Isabela asked, crossing her arms to her chest in annoyance. Mirabel turned her attention to Isabela. "I need your help. We need a moonlight orchid." Mirabel paused and then continued again. "And what's with this guy calling you mi amor?" And the scene goes on from there. Isabela properly introduced how she met Bubo and how he understands her true feelings about her pressure to be perfect. Isabela and Bubo then agreed with Mirabelle with the Moonlight Orchid, and since it was claimed to be a difficult orchid for Isabela to grow, she would have to meditate and sing an incantation to grow. Yes, an excuse to talk about my Encanto AU! Okay, so Bubo in my AU is... Okay, well, I made him a villain, so... Okay, this part of the video isn't scripted, so I can yap all about my AU, and all about my villain arc for Bubo in my AU. Okay, so I have this OC named Tanalia that gets adopted by Isabela, and so Bubonic, that's his villain name in my AU. So Bubonic did something really bad to Tanalia, and just for power, so he can get to Isabela. But Tanalia can't talk about it because she can't talk because she's 3 and nonverbal, so she just can't talk at all. So yeah, that's her like weakness. Like, yeah, that's Tanalia's weakness, is like she can't talk like at all. So anyway, yeah. So, and he's like really obsessed with Isabela because the story is that he once asked her out and she was like, no thank you, like politely declining him, and he was like, oh okay, and now he's really bitter about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I might not cut anything out, but yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if my AU is good, but like, yeah, it's a kind of a sad AU, but like I like angst. Angst equals character development. So yeah, that's my AU. Okay, so some final thought. What did we learn, young adults like me? What did we learn? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. So I think if you want to, don't make your audience physically uncomfortable when you're trying to write in a romance scene in your movie. Like, don't make it close up to their mouths while they're kissing. Especially if it's like a family movie, if you want romance in it, don't do that. Don't. So I guess that's it for the final thoughts. I want to thank you guys so much for 100+ subscribers. That's insane. And also 5K. 5,000 people have seen my Nuka animatic. Thank you so much. Oh my, I didn't expect that. It scared me. I was like, whoa, what is going on? So, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm glad you're all 100+ of you are here with me on my little art journey. Cause this channel can be like a portfolio of something, but I'm not sure yet. Cause I'm just posting whatever I want now, because like I just really wanted to make this video, and this video is like 20 minutes. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. 20+ minutes? Yeah. Thank you guys so much.